This week on the fish tank. Oh. Oh, really? Pack it up, everyone. We're moving on. Hey everyone, I'm Garrett Hallfish. Back on Thursday, Nintendo had their first Nintendo Direct since the passing of Satoru Iwata. And I have some mixed reviews about it. There were some nice things part of it, but overall, it seems like there's not much happening with the Wii U or the 3DS. I'm getting kind of a deja vu thinking back to like the 2011-2013 era of the Wii, back before the Wii U came out. As soon as they announced the Wii U, the Wii kind of stopped having anything releasing. So pretty much in 2010, you had all these games coming out, like big core Nintendo titles. But then in 2011, you can see them already dwindling with fewer things coming out. And then even like 2012, 2013, it's just like, here's Mario at the Olympics, here's the games you guys pleaded from Japan. There just wasn't a lot coming out being published from Nintendo towards the end. It was almost like 3 years of just dead weight on the Wii. And I feel like we're starting to get the same thing now that they've announced the NX on the Wii U. But let's go back to the Nintendo Direct. Let me pick apart the things that really bothered me about this Nintendo Direct. So they started off with what seems like a pretty cool reveal, Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U. Now, I actually really enjoyed this. The only people I've met who haven't liked this game are the ones who played the Wii version, which I don't suggest you do. The GameCube version, actually just like a traditional Zelda, kind of reminds me of Ocarina of Time in that same sort of feel. And I really enjoyed it, but I didn't realize until later that it was apparently hard to find later on because they really wanted to push that Wii one with the motion controls. Now, when looking at this trailer, the main issue I have with it is that when they announced Wind Waker HD, it was already a timeless looking game, but those visuals with the nice little polish they added on top of it, it made a whole new impact. Like it really looked like a next-gen game. It looked great. But when they do the same sort of thing with Twilight Princess HD, it doesn't really have that same sort of feel. It still looks dated. It still looks like you're looking at the GameCube version of the game, just less blurry. So that was the first disappointing thing. Now granted, you can tell they up-res some of the textures, specifically when they show the main villain. It looks really nice there. But then there's other times, specifically Hyrule Field, where it just looks really bad. I mean, look at these trees. You see the trees off in the distance. So right after they talk about Twilight Princess HD, they go right into 13 glorious seconds of the new Zelda Wii U game. And it makes me hope that they're planning to announce even more at the Video Game Awards, Jeff Keighley's thing, later this year like they did last year. But it also worries me that they're just not going to be showing much until next year, and 13 seconds is not a lot for what looks like an incredibly beautiful game. So a little while later, they go into Super Mario Maker, a game that's been doing surprisingly well for them. People seem to really be enjoying it. They say they made 3.3 million levels. But one common problem that a lot of people are having are that the search functionality to get to the level you want is kind of convoluted. The only way to really get to that level is to enter in like the 16-digit code or 12 digits. And that's not the smoothest way possible. So they are rectifying it on computers and phones only. If you want to get the nicer search engine, they're going to be bringing it to a web-based portal, is what they call it, which is kind of neat if it was also in the game. So like, I understand searching for levels when you're not playing the game or you're out and about. But the fact that if you want to do it at home and you have to sit there with your phone with the TVs right there, that's a little annoying. Just try to work that into the game because it'd be really nice, really step up the game. Now real quickly, Amiibo Festival, a game that I'm not really interested in, doesn't look like a whole lot of fun. The worst part about it though is when they show the Amiibo Festival, their quiz game. The questions they ask don't seem like they're very helpful. They show a character and the question was like, what is my favorite catchphrase? Who's gonna know that? They say the hardcore Animal Crossing fans, but there are 456 characters. Who is going to remember the catchphrase of every single character? I mean, there's multiple variations of the same chicken. Who's going to know that? Now, when they talk about Xenoblade Chronicles, that's a game I'm actually interested in. It looks like it's a huge open world game. It seems like there's a lot of things to do. Everything looks alive. It's beautiful. But what they show in the Direct goes against everything I want from it. They basically tell you about these high-speed data loading packs. There's 4 of them that are optional, but they say they speed up loading times, which makes it sound like something you want. Also, by the names of them, they seem like definitely things you want. Like, you're going to be missing content if you don't download these. What they seem to be hiding from you by splitting up the 4 numbers, that's actually 10 gigabytes of data. Which is a lot, especially on a Wii U. I mean, the deluxe one is only 32 gigabytes, and I certainly don't have the space for 10 more. And that's a lot to be absent from the game and to be optional. I mean, why wouldn't you want it? So it seemed like a weird way to announce something like that. Now, last week, Nintendo stealthily released something called the Nintendo Bange Arcade. Now, I downloaded this to see what it was all about, and it is a free-to-start game, and it's basically just one of those grab claw games. It's alright. The thing that bothers me is when they've done this free-to-play model before, it doesn't try to shove the idea of spending money down your throat, whereas this one, literally, every time you use up your free plays, it's like, hey, so do you want to pay now? Do you want to pay now? Ah, it's okay, you don't have to pay now, but do you want to pay now? And that gets really annoying, especially because every time you hit that option, it then starts loading up your file and it's trying to figure out how much money is in your account, whether or not you want to add money, and it slows down everything if you accidentally press that button. I know it's not something everyone wants to do, but the badges look kind of cool. But the way they're just shoving that idea down your throat is just not entertaining. Next up, we have Pokken Tournament, a game that I don't have a lot to say about just because it looks pretty cool. I mean, you're fighting Pokemon in a Tekken-style fighting game. Now, I'm not a big fighting game player, but it seems like something that's right up a lot of people's alleys. But the problem I had was right at the end, when they announced that Shadow Mewtwo Amiibo cards would be included in the first run of the game, if you were to purchase it in stores. The issue I have with that is they say how it's something that you work towards and you unlock through rigorous fighting and all this other stuff. To unlock that immediately with an Amiibo card takes that satisfaction away. And it gives you nothing to fight for. So I'm sure there's other things to unlock, but that sounds like it was going to be something that was really difficult to unlock, and you've just made people want to pay that much less. This is one I'm a little confused about. Fire Emblem Fates was earlier announced, and they explained how there's 2 sides you can choose from. You can buy either game, the good or the bad. You can play through it, and then you can download the other one for about half the price. So you're getting a big, solid game overall. But what they then just announced is that there's then a 3rd game. In their defense, they make it sound like it's probably just going to be extra story DLC kind of thing, where it's maybe even smaller than one of those games. But still, the way they show it, it seems like there's 3 games you gotta play now, and that's a lot to ask for one series all at the same time. Hopefully it works for them. It might be really cool, but it was just a weird way to announce it. For you retro fans, I'm sure you all enjoyed the announcement that Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow are coming to 3DS. The only question I have for you is, why did it take this long? That's it. Why? Now, something that's getting more press than I expected it to, Hyrule Warriors announced a new playable female Link character named Winkle. Okay name. But the only thing I don't like about it, because I actually think it's cool to have a female Link, but her character design is just bad. The fact that the gameplay they show, she has 2 crossbows, but most of the time she doesn't seem to be firing them, she seems to be hitting people with them. Now, I haven't used a crossbow, but I don't think that's how they operate. So, yeah. Well, that about wraps it up for this week. What did you think of Thursday's Nintendo Direct? Were you as disappointed as I was, or did you actually really enjoy it? You can follow us on Twitter at NerdMunchCom. You can also find us on Facebook via the description below. I'd like to thank you all for joining this week. Have a good one. Now, they did have one really cool reveal. Of course, it was at the end of the Nintendo Direct. Cloud is coming to Smash Bros. Who would know? Final Fantasy VII was never on a Nintendo console. And at first when I saw this, I was like, oh man, it's another clone character, great. But after watching it again, it's actually really cool. This Smash Bros. Has done such a good job of not having many clone characters. Even when they're almost clone characters, they have something about them that just makes them more unique. And he is no different. I mean, he has his limit breaks, he has a cool new stage, he has all these different moves that look like they're pulled straight from the game. I'm really excited for that, and I'm really excited for next month with more Smash Bros. News. Hopefully I'll see you there.